So it's been a few days now, and the basketball community has now had time to process one of the biggest blockbuster trades of this offseason. I didn't immediately make a video about it because I wanted the dust to settle and see if I was missing something. I wanted to give myself an opportunity to really ponder this one so I wouldn't say something that I would later regret. And even with all this time to ponder it, I gotta admit guys, it still doesn't make any darn sense to me. When a move is so bad that it makes my purple and gold heart hurt for Celtics fans, then you know Brad Stevens screwed up. So essentially, after ongoing talks about Jaylen Brown being frustrated with Boston, he was finally traded to the Philadelphia 76ers for Paul George, 2 first-round picks, and 2 second-round picks. I've been saying for a while that I'm a big believer in Jaylen Brown's talent, and I'm confident that in the right scenario, he could be the best player on a championship team. Some people would argue that he's already proven that. He won the Finals MVP in 2024 with the Boston Celtics, and then while Jason Tatum was out with his Achilles tear, he was a dark horse MVP candidate last season, while keeping the Celtics among the top seeds in the Eastern Conference. Now I get it. This all led to Brown being extremely confident and egotistical, as he enjoyed the spotlight and all the attention that comes with being the leading man on a roster. He even said himself that last season was the most fun he's ever had playing basketball, which is kind of crazy when you consider the fact that they just had a championship-winning season a couple years earlier. Seeing that Brown felt this determined to spread his wings and be the man of his own team, I get why the Celtics felt like they needed to trade him, at least to a certain extent. But is this seriously the best return they could have got for him? Paul George isn't just older than the 29-year-old Jaylen Brown, but he's 7 years older. The 36-year-old PG is only one step behind the LeBron, Steph, and KD group of guys who are in the planning stages of how they want to retire. On top of that, Paul George is a guy who usually underperforms in the postseason, and he's more injury-prone as well. Even the 2 first-rounders don't really make sense. Yes, first-round picks always carry value, but considering the fact that these are picks coming from Philly, who is now stacked up top, these picks are probably going to be late first-rounders. So again, how is this the best deal that Boston could come up with? According to reports, there was as many as 10 teams who had serious interest in Jaylen Brown. And this is the package they got? Listen, the Luka Doncic trade to the Lakers was probably worse, in the sense that Nico Harrison gave up their franchise-leading MVP candidate in his mid-20s, after he had just taken them to the NBA Finals. And by the way, he had no desire to be traded. But at the very least, at least Nico Harrison had a vision. I could at least try to understand his logic. He traded away a guy who was a subpar defender for one of the best offensive players in the game when healthy. As ridiculous as the trade was, I could at least understand why someone would think this could work. But what the hell was the vision here with Boston? You didn't save much money, you basically helped close your championship window, you didn't gain any depth, the picks are relatively mediocre, you got much older, and you gave up a star who had 3 years left on his contract. So yeah, maybe it's not the worst trade I've ever seen, maybe it's not the most shocking trade I've ever seen, but I do think it's absolutely and unequivocally the most confusing trade I've ever seen. Simply because I can't understand why Boston would do this trade with Philly, and why they would do it now. For goodness sake, they sent him to a team that isn't just their historic rivals, but their division rivals. There's a realistic possibility that these teams could go on to meet in the NBA playoffs, and Jaylen Brown personally makes them pay for it. And I'm sorry, but I have to ask, did Boston really have to trade him right now? If you don't like the trade market and you don't think it's that great for your player, then why not wait until things shake up at the trade deadline? Yeah, I know. Jaylen was saying wild stuff on Twitch and was being a bit hostile towards his own organization. But at the end of the day, the dude still has 3 years left on his contract with no player option in sight. For goodness sake, Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant despised each other so much that they physically fought in the 1998 to 1999 season. and then proceeded to play 5 more seasons together. I get Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown aren't Shaq and Kobe, but they were a championship duo a couple years ago for a 16-3 playoff team that at the time was considered as one of the greatest teams ever. Tatum is finally coming back completely healthy, and if both stars are in their 20s, and if both stars are locked up contractually, then what's the big hurry? So you gotta deal with a little bit of drama for a bit. So what? You can always trade him later if the winning doesn't solve their differences. I know this video of mine has provided more questions than answers, but now you all understand why I titled this video the most confusing trade of all time. Brad Stevens' job security seemed untouchable 1 week ago, but now he better hope things turn out okay for them, or his seat is gonna start to get warm rather quickly. I can't even get conspiratorial about this trade like we did for Luka, because why would the NBA even want this? This isn't the glamorous Lakers getting their face of the future, but this is the prestigious Celtics becoming less likely to make it to the NBA Finals. And personally, I think it's a whole lot more profitable for the Celtics to be in the finals rather than the 76ers. I can't believe I'm saying this, but Boston fans, I'm sorry this happened to you. You guys didn't deserve this, and as surreal as this seems to me, I can only imagine how surreal this feels for you guys. Let me know in the comments section if there's any way you can make sense of this from Boston's perspective. And also let me know if you now consider the 76ers as a legitimate threat to the Knicks in the Eastern Conference. I look forward to hearing your thoughts in the comments section below. Shout out to the members for supporting the channel, and thanks for watching as always. Make sure to like and subscribe for more basketball content, and I'll see you guys in the next video.